The times are changing in the NFL, because if I told you last year that these four teams and these two games and Monday night doubleheader both had 50-point totals, you wouldn't believe me. You are watching The Perfect Lineup, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, look to take down a tournament. Now, I'm going to get a little bit crazy on today's slate. Some of these may not sim out well. I'm going to let Josh do the dirty work, run him in the sim, see what he can come up with after I build out the core for three, hopefully, beautiful lineups. These two-game slates are tough, and oftentimes when you go straight chalk, it ends up being the reason for your demise. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently with some of these. One of them will keep kind of straightforward, but as always, we're going to build them out. Josh will finish them off in the sims, and we'll see how they do. We got a Tails exclusive lineup only to Tails. Make sure you head over there, link in the description. Everything is free, including all of our DFS content and bets all week long, every week of the season. And if you want to get a free week of the Sims, you want a free week of Sims Max? Here's a tough one for you guys, but it's going to be fun on a slate like this. Tell me who you think is going to be the highest DK score, so most DraftKings points for any flex player under $5,000. You may just solo ship this one if you happen to get it right. As always, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. It's going to be dirty. All right, so on a slate like this, I mentioned already, I do want to do some odd builds for a couple of reasons. One, every time, guys, tell me I'm wrong. Like every time we have these double headers, whether it's Monday or like a Christmas or whatever, there always happens to be one guy that comes out of the woodwork or one strange build where it's chalky and then just one random player ends up breaking the slate. I don't want to be the victim of that again. So I want to at least take some shots. Maybe they don't sim out well, but you know what? There's a real possibility I boost some players today within the sims and make some adjustments within the tools just to get a little bit unique. The first lineup I want to go with is actually a Caleb Williams lineup with Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, and Zach Ertz on the other side. Here's why. This is not like some super contrarian build, and we can run this on 0% randomness, or Josh can crank it up if he'd like on top of that. DeAndre Swift is game script. Like, he's going to get a lot of work in the passing game. You know, you're talking 5 to 7 targets every single week, and he's going to get the primary opportunities on the ground. But then you have Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, who has a 27% target share this year. No one else is above 16%. Olamide Zaccheaus at 16.8 and DJ Moore at 16 himself. So I don't mind that pairing whatsoever. DeAndre Swift can for sure come along for the ride in the passing game if we're stacking this. Plus, it's a 2-game slate. You don't need crazy high correlation there anyway. And then Zach Ertz on the other side, tight end position's volatile. Dalton Kincaid, we don't even know if he's going to play with the oblique injury. And Deebo Samuel, at the time of me recording this, is questionable, but all he logged was a limited practice all week. So if he does get out there with the heel injury, we already know Noah Brown and, more importantly, Terry McLaurin have been ruled out. This could be the week where Zach Ertz starts seeing his volume tick back up closer to where it was in week 1 and in week 2.
Time to sim lineup number 1, and I'm not happy with what Loughy just did. This setup doesn't work for me. Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, Rome Odunze. I don't want to be stacking up against my Washington Commanders. Now, I know that I get Zach Ertz here, but this one stings my soul. I hope this lineup ends up looking good. We still need to fill out the rest of these spots. We have $28,800 left. Easiest way for us to do that. We're in the single lineup simulator right now. We're going to click complete this lineup. That's going to fill in all of the spots remaining with the optimal plays for the salary that we have left. Okay, the optimal plays have redeemed this one a little bit for me. We get Bill Krosky-Merritt. We get Debo. Now, I know. We don't know if Debo is playing tonight or not. Big time Q tag. This could look different by the time we get to lock. But for right now, we're assuming Debo in. He goes in as well. Falcons D enters the lineup. So we've got Bijan and Drake London. We've got Krosky-Merritt, Samuel, Ertz. We've got the Bears stack that we got from Loughy to start it off. Let's see how this grades out. I'm going to click Run Lineup Simulation to find out. And we're off to a pretty solid start. 58% sim ROI, 0.2% chance to win, 3% top 10. That's not bad. 37% cash rate. I like this lineup as a baseline. I just need my Commanders to go crazy. I hope Loughy's giving me something better later on.
All right, let's get on to lineup number 3. I have no clue how lineup number 2 and 3 are going to sim out. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're bad, but don't be discouraged by that. You know, if there's a specific build and you could see a path towards it working, you don't necessarily have to be discouraged. You could crank up the randomness or maybe change out 1 or 2 pieces, even if you have to, only if you really believe there is some type of perceived edge there. Bump up the projection a little bit on a player. And we'll talk about that in perfect lineup number 3. But with number 2, I need to throw a Michael Penix Jr. lineup in here. I don't want to just feed you guys chalk. I don't even care how it sims out because that's not fun for any of us. Like, all right, go ahead and, play Jaden Daniels with Debo and Zach Ertz. Krosky Merritt in there. Run it back with Roma Dunze. Anyway, we can do that. You can find that anywhere. You could do that with your eyes closed. I'm going to play a Michael Penix Jr. lineup on this video because we're projecting him for 5% ownership. Do I like Michael Penix Jr. today? No, I don't, as a matter of fact. The Bills have one of the best pass rushes in the league. Their secondary is far better than their run defense, which has been a sieve. Matt Milano is still out. I don't love Michael Penix Jr., but that's kind of unimportant. It's irrelevant on a 2-game slate. If he is genuinely 5% owned, where there are only 4 quarterbacks on the slate, yes, we're going to try and do something with him because we don't really need to get weird elsewhere. So I'm going to pair him with Bijan, who already has 200-yard receiving games on the season, on 4 games because they had a bye last week. I'm going to go Drake London, and I'm going to run it back with James Cook. Why James Cook? Outside of the obvious, it's because if the Buffalo Bills go up early, that is how Michael Penix Jr. gets there, and it could be in garbage time. We see so many players, so many quarterbacks get there in garbage time where the first half is ugly. Look, if the Bills sit back and Michael Penix is given opportunities and the Bills play with a lead, they're 4.5 favorites right now on the road, coming off a bad loss last week at home against the Patriots, then yeah, Penix is going to be forced to throw the football. And if he is on a 2-gamer, you don't need an explosive performance. With Darnell Mooney already ruled out, there's only a handful of guys that he's going to get to. And forgive me for saying this, I don't think Ray McLeod is going to be a focal point of the offense.
Okay, we're going a complete different direction here. Swapping over to the other game for Bills and Falcons, at least to start. Penix in at QB. Bijan sneaks into this one as well. Loughy gave us Drake London, and we've got James Cook coming back. $23,500 remaining. Anxious to see what we get from the Bears and my Commanders and where this lineup ends up going. But I like this setup a little bit better because it doesn't hurt my soul as much. We end up making this Falcon stack a little bit bigger. Kyle Pitts enters the lineup. Shakir enters the lineup on the Bills side. We get Debo once again. We get Krosky Merritt once again. And now the Bears defense slots in for this one. We spend the entire bag. No salary left. Time to find out how it looks. Now, my guess, this is worse than the first one. And I hope that's true. Go Skins. Yeah, that's not going to be the one, and I'm not surprised. I didn't like it. Honestly, just there's too much ownership there. Not enough fantasy points. Negative 2.6% sim ROI, 31% cash rate. So it's not tanking like crazy. It's just not getting to the peaks we're looking for. The third lineup, however, I'm hoping gets us where we want to be.
Now, our third and final lineup, and look, full disclosure, I think this is going to sim out poorly. I'm still going to play some of these lineups today, and I'm going to tell you why. Beforehand, though, if you guys want access to the tools yourself, if you want to go into the actual sims and be able to filter through stacks and players and teams that you like, that's what I do. And it's been a successful NFL season so far. I'll go through and I'll find builds that are already within the sims, and then I'll play them, even if they weren't in my top 150 favored lineups. Whereas with a single lineup sim, you can go and build them out and spend time digging in to find the right formula. Whatever it may be, the link in the description gets you 25% off any month of NFL sims, whether it's core or max. The perfect 25 is the promo. It's auto-loaded when you check out. Just click that link, use that link, you get 25% off all of the tools, not just the sims, but everything else we have on the site for NFL right there. Perfect 25 with that link, and you're good to go. So this is weird. It's ugly. Some of you are going to scratch your head. Some of you may even boo. Some of you may even spit at your own phone or computer screen, but hear me out. I want to run a lineup with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. I'm going to have Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir on the other side. 0% randomness because we don't need to get any stranger than this. Why am I going to do that? It's simple. The Falcons are coming off of a bye week, right? They're at home. There's a real possibility that they just end up playing well today, right? Do I think the Bills come out after a bad loss and win? I do, but that doesn't really matter. Again, like, I'm just trying to be different here. And if the Falcons do keep this game competitive, how is it done? Well, I think one of the ways they do it, really the only way in my mind that makes the most sense, is Bijan and Algier included run all over these guys. Bijan's the clear number one. He's game script proof. But as far as the run game goes, Tyler Algier has out-touched him, 7-3 inside the 10 this year. Inside the red zone, Algier also has more carries. He also has an additional goal line carry over Bijan. And in games that they've played that are neutral or favorable game script, Algier has 16, 16, and 10 carries. So can him and Bijan both get there today? And this is a super unique build? I think they can. I don't care if it sims out negatively. I may just boost Algier myself. And then the obvious, Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir on the other side, that makes plenty of sense as well. Let's see how it does. I'm not confident, but I don't care. I think this is a unique build if Atlanta keeps things close.
Loughy is setting us up to get quite a bit different for this final lineup. Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir go in as a part of a Bills stack. Bijan Robinson goes in. Third time we're using him in this one. We got him randomly for lineup number one. But then Tyler Algier sneaks in at that second running back spot, trying to get a little bit different on this 2-game Monday Night Football slate. We're going to click complete this lineup to fill it out. I'm a little nervous about this lineup. I'm putting it out there right now. So I want you guys to remember, this video doesn't end here. There is a bonus perfect lineup to be found on Tails. Link in the description. Also, follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman for it. You don't want to miss it. We post a bonus lineup every single slate. Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, whatever you're looking for. We've got the bonus lineup for you. That's going to be the gem for you guys because I think we're in some trouble. Drake London slots in. Debo slots in. We also get Kyle Pitts. Krosky Merritt, once again, Falcons deep. This is a massive Falcon stack, along with Josh Allen on the opposite side. Cross your fingers, everybody. T's and P's here. We need a miracle. And that is what happens when you try to sneak Tyler Algier into a lineup right now. It is a death sentence. I do not see the path for his use in a lineup right now. Even if I wanted to try to find it, I don't think I can, but I will find the best possible lineup for you guys over on Tails. Hit the like button for this one. If you need a perfect lineup, it's probably the first one.